This is how it looks fully loaded. I basically drilled the holes in the plates so that I can have straps to mount. I got 2 bungee cords and some old netting and put it together so that it can hold small things down. This is a bigger netting so that it can hold a backpack. My lock mount to the rack, so there's a button on the side that you push and it slides off. This is the lock right now. It's in that position, so let's lock it. I can push this button on the side to unmount it, so that's the release button for it. Then just slides back into place for when I want to go. This is how it looks. This is the complete of how it looks. So taking now into account the details of my welding, I need a lot of things to practice on, but you see it's not perfectly set. And here you can see it's not perfectly set. And then I made it like this. So that's basically a angle aluminum. And then I just cut out a little chunk, a little bit more than an inch, rounded it up, drilled a hole, and I was able to mount it in the factory mount, weld it going around, and then just kind of ground it, painted it semi-flat black. This is just tubing, and what I did was I took my heavyweight hammer and I flattened the edge of the tubing, and then I was able to curve it around, drill the hole in it for a point. Same thing on this side, the tubing. I just did flat on one way and then on the other way flat so that it can bend and mount underneath, and then weld it to this simple aluminum plate. You can see my welding work there. Not the greatest, but it gets the job done. Did some grinding to take off the edges. My main thing is I'm still practicing welding aluminum. The main issue that I have is when the aluminum is first cold and I start welding, it doesn't really flow right. But once it gets up to temperature, it has a great flow and I can get a great seal. So just drilled the holes so that pieces have a mount. This is aluminum, of course. So most of my aluminum I get from a metal place called, in California, it's Industrial Sheet Metal. And they have bins where when they do the cutting and fabrication for big companies, they will take all their scrap metal and just throw it in these bins, and sometimes they sell it. So basically all I needed was a flat plate, and I found this plate perfect. It's 7 inches by 15 or 17. Wait, I'm sorry, 6 inches by 17 or 15, I forget. I have to get my measuring. If you guys really want it, I'll do another video that shows the measurements. I got a little angle iron. This is just a little foam. Believe it or not, this is a piece of a mouse pad from the 99-cent store, and then I just cut it, trimmed it, put it on here so that when the lock is here, if it taps, it's not annoying. So on the flat plate, I just put 2 angle irons to attach it. This is just tubing that goes down. So I first affixed the straight tubing to determine how high I want this above my tire, which goes from this point, you can kind of see on the side of there, going down and then mounting to my point here. So once I got this length right, and once I got this length right, and what I did was I mocked it up with a cardboard to do templates. So I took my actual plate, I took some of my kids' wooden blocks and put it between here, and I looked at the height and I said, oh, I like the height. And then I did some cardboard cutouts to figure out how long that needs to be to go into the factory hole, and then another cardboard cutout, see how long I want that to be. to go into a factory hole. And then once I had those cardboard mock-outs, I went on and cut it. This is just basically cutting the tubing at an angle and then welding it in. And the angle iron is welded on, and then I ground it smooth, or smoother than my welding technique would have done. You can do all of this technically with sheet metal screws, probably mounted here. Do a sheet metal screw, and then all of that. My main thing with wanting to weld it is I wanted something that looked cooler and something that is less likely to come apart. So that just slides in like that and sets it up ready to go. So that's the details. It's real easy to do. Real easy to do.